Beginning at the top of the mat, let's take a big breath in. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, take the hands through heart center. Start to ground through the four corners of the feet and draw the navel towards the spine. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive over, release head, neck, and shoulders. Take a big breath in, heart lifts you forward halfway. Hands to the mat, stepping back. So finding our first high plank. So really drawing that navel towards the spine and reaching long through the crown of the head. And then slowly lowering onto the knees. Send the hips to the heels. Take a few big belly breaths here. So just letting those belly muscles release before we move into our flow. So coming back up to all fours and drawing the knees together, coming up onto the toes. We're just going to hover those knees about 3 or 4 inches off the mat. So you should really feel the core working in this pose. Keep that neck nice and long and slowly lower. Send the hips to the heels. Coming back to that belly breath. Coming back to all fours and finding our way to our first downward facing dog, doing whatever feels good for your body, maybe pedaling the feet, rocking the head. Left foot steps forward, right knee comes to the mat, setting up for our low lunge. So find wherever the pose is for you, maybe the hands are on the knee, or maybe the arms are overhead. Wherever you are, you really need to use those core muscles to stabilize you here. So release the hands over, step the right foot up, and come into a forward fold. Inhale, heart lifts you forward. Exhale, coming right back to that high plank. Drawing that navel in, getting nice and long. Slow lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale takes you back, downward facing dog. We're going to do the other side. Right foot steps through to meet the hands. Back knee lowers. Find the pose. And just begin stabilizing through that core. As that hip continues to release, you'll really need those core muscles here. And go ahead and release the hands, framing that front foot and stepping back, downward facing dog. Finding lots of length. And then rocking forward to a high plank. Exhale takes you back, downward facing dog. Inhale rocks you forward. So just begin moving with your own breath. Find what pace works for you. Slowly lower onto the knees and send the hips to the heels. Breathing here. So coming right back onto our knees, draw those knees together, rocking up onto the toes. Maybe the knees hover a little further off the mat this time. It's up to you. And really feeling those core muscles. It's okay if you're shaking. This is a tough pose. Just means those core muscles are working. And find your way back to your downward facing dog. Left leg steps. This time we're going to stay up on those back toes. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, release a little deeper into that right hip. If you want a little bit more of a heart opener, you can take the hands into reverse prayer. Using that core to stabilize wherever you are. Hands to frame the front foot and stepping right back to our high plank. Slow lower chaturanga. Inhale up dog. Exhale downward facing. Opposite side right foot steps. Inhale the arms up, high lunge. Exhale takes you a little bit deeper. Maybe coming into that reverse prayer. Releasing the hands, stepping back, high plank. Taking one knee to tap and then the other. Moving at your own pace. Releasing the knees, sitting back on the heels, and walking the hands in towards the body. So just coming to sit right on top of the sits bones, walking the feet in and opening the chest nice and wide. Spine stays straight, and we just begin to rock back. So finding that edge. Arms can stay out in front, or if you want a little bit more, they can lift overhead. So just taking the soles of the feet together. Exhale, big forward fold. And then coming back up, taking the knees together, and then just taking one toe to tap, and then the opposite as we begin to rock back, finding that edge. It's a good idea in this pose to hang on to the back of the knees, and then taking those feet together, keeping with the bent knee here, in our half boat pose. Maybe take the arms overhead, and then rocking forward, soles of the feet together, heart melts. So last time, we're going to come into our full boat pose. If this is not in your practice, maybe you want to stay with the half boat, wherever you are, trying to keep that spine as straight as possible. And just take the feet to a cross-legged position and stepping all the way through to our down dog. Taking one breath there, and then step, hop, or float forward. Inhale the arms up overhead, coming up to standing. And then we're going to set up for a balance pose. So open the heart, press the heart forward, and we're going to find a nice sable pose. I think I was on a stick here. And then send the weight to the left foot and begin to draw the right knee in towards the body. Hands come to the hips, slowly rock forward, send the gaze to the ground, and press the right foot behind you. Arms can stay on the hips or maybe coming out to the side. Make sure those back toes are pointing down towards the mat to square off the hip, and slowly release the foot. This pose is all core here. So sending the weight into the right foot, left knee begins to lift. Take a second and hug that knee in towards the body. Maybe the hands come to the hips, and then press that foot out behind you. Hands can stay on hips or reach out nice and wide. Airplane arms. So pressing through that heel, and then slowly release. Coming back to the top of the mat. There's that stick. And just taking a moment to sit down nice and deep in our chair pose. Feeling the strength in the legs, feeling the core stabilizing the body. Exhale, fold forward, release head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, heart lifts. Stepping back, high plank. Breathing here, find the pose. Work that core. Get as long as you can through the head, neck, and shoulders. Shoulders out of the ears. Slowly release the knees. Send the hips to the heels. And just let the head rest on the mat. Finding a few big belly breaths. Coming back onto knees. I'm going to roll those shoulders back and just let the belly release. Find that cow belly. Rarely do we ever totally release all the muscles in the belly. So this is an opportunity to do so. So taking a few breaths there, and then on an exhale, coming up into our cat pose, rounding the back. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and just find a comfortable seated position. Roll the shoulders back and down. Get nice and long through the spine. And then inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands to heart center. Namaste.